Hi world. Here we are live in Nairobi, Kenya. My goodness. I know that some of you are waiting for 8 p.m., but I can tell you that the host I have tonight, the guest rather I have tonight, ceases to be a guest but a host. So a host and a hostess. And so is a big one, a large one, a massive one. And so if you can log in early and you're seeing me, people you are logging in, please begin to share while we wait for 8 o'clock so that nobody gets angry with me that why did you start early? I've seen 13 of you are already logged in. Please begin to share. StreamYard gives us the summation of YouTube and Facebook viewership, and so it helps me it gives a summation of it. I've seen that you are 18 already, 25 already, 26 already. People are really eagerly waiting, and it's not even yet time. 30 already, and it's still 5 minutes to the top of the hour, and already 34. You keep coming. I will mention some of your names quick, but keep coming, keep logging in. 36. Yes. You know, when I used to be in Anglican church, we used to do what we call bazaar, and we be doing going. This is 41 already before the hour of time. As you are logging in, glory be to God. The Lord bless you. 44. Keep logging in. Oh my goodness. Tonight is a great night. When the host becomes the guest, we cannot allow him to leave this place without downloading everything that is in his head. Some of you see him on TV. You wonder who is this guy. Tonight, he is right on your social media platform. 54 of you are already in. Please begin to share. And when you share, say something. 61 Centrin, you are number one. Centrin Nafula, you are number one present. Glory be to God. Anumbugwa, you are welcome. Malin To, you are welcome. Catherine Eric, you are welcome. Sarah Murimuri, Olivia Erastos, Ann Ngare, Ruth Kanini, Jane Omondi, Evelyn Luther, Roslyn Okech. Are you hearing, Alex? Roslyn Okech.
In Canada. Yes. Wow. Hi,
Rosie. Yeah, please, Rosie, he's greeting you. All right. Angela Bongere, Janet Okai, Ruth Kanini, all of you, welcome. Vicky Kez, Lily, Dorothy, wow, Julie, Lameke Bakari, Regina Kevogo, wow, Christine Nekono, Mercy Akot, Mercy, I want to believe that perhaps you are the one that dropped a note for me. If you are the one, I'll get back to you tomorrow. Sunday is such a busy day for me, but I'll get back to you tomorrow. If you are the particular Mercy, a coach that dropped a note in the office today. Victoria Kitome, Fromina, Amy, Celestine, Brenda, Maliti. Keep it coming. You are already 100. Keep it coming. Tonight is gonna be great. Pascalia, Sarah Grace, glory be to God. And Sally, God bless all of you. Rose Salama, God bless you. Mary Kisongochi, Verena, Catherine say she's excited. I am also excited. I think I'm more excited than some of you. Please keep it coming. So, Mercy, you are saying thank you, mommy. So, are you the one? Say you are the one. I think the way you have said thank you, mommy, means you are the one. Shiro Okudo, Miss Becca, Jules, Nancy, and Deo, all of you beautiful children of God. The Lord bless you tonight from all over the world. Gertrude Ondato. If you are joining us from outside the country, please make sure you notify us. Like Roslyn Okech, make sure you say from Corner Brooks, Canada. If there are other people from outside Kenya, let's know. We want to appreciate that you could dare your time and to log into the East African time. God bless you so much. Walter, God bless you. Nancy and Deo, Miss Baker and Vicky, good to see you again. That's what you're saying. Caroline Wambui, God bless you so much. We have 2 more minutes before we welcome Alex on this show. Please keep on logging in. Please keep on logging in. Please keep on logging in. What a night. What a night. Yvonne Didi, God bless you. William Apida, God bless you, man of God. Repo Sotaya. Oh, I thought we are doing prayer. Sorry. I thought tonight is prayer. As you are, so I'm already speaking in tongue. But I think this is prophetic because on the Twitter, Alex, somebody wrote on the Twitter, Alex gets to speak in tongue today.
I saw that.
You saw it. And I even, honestly, I had even forgotten it before I spoke in tongue. I didn't remember it at all. I laughed when I saw it on Twitter. Alex gets ready for tongue. Oh my God.
I like that. I like that. You know?
I like that. It's good that people know me. They know, they know that when you meet me online, you must speak in tongue, one way or the other. Glory be to God. Olenja Benjamin is saying, Mommy Esther, you are doing a great inspirational job. Alex Chamwada is an inspiration. Glory be to God. Yes, he is. Very much. Regina, you are welcome. Muroka, you are welcome. Pastor Patrick in Joroge, you are welcome. Glory be to God. Marian Nyangi, you are welcome. God bless you. You are saying, Mommy, God bless you so much. I want to get all of you here. If I missed you, it's because this computer is running. Ingrid, Tune, Mommy, you are looking fabulous as usual. And welcome, Mr. Alex Chamwada. Let me share. Yeah, share. Thank you for your compliment. In Africa, we have learned how to say thank you. When you say you look good, we don't just say okay. We say thank you. We say thank you. So thank you so much. Susan Kinyua, wonderful woman of God. God bless you, Susan. That's Wambui. Rispa Masinde, God bless you. All these wonderful people. Janet, Aiko, Petro, blessed man. Keep coming. As you log in, please share. Adelenaide Stanko. And you have spoken in tongues somewhere. Somebody is saying they are happy. I don't know what that is. Then Blanche Ndamu. Okay. Masekerebo Sontaya. All right. Susan Misere said it's allowed. Let the spirit lead. Are you hearing? Let the spirit lead. So there is no apology for speaking in tongue. Kawa, good to see you, Mama. Beautiful in the African attire. Glory be to God. Absolutely. I want to make sure we are branding Africa. Africa is the best continent in the surface of the earth. And we are so proud to be one. All right. Faith, hope. God bless you. Binja. Njambi. God bless you. All right. You are all welcome. Miriam Nyagi, God bless you so much again. So I think we need to hit the road right now. Otherwise, we may keep some of you beyond the time that is scheduled. Afum, you gave Alex plantain in your place. I asked him, he said he loves plantain. So anybody who likes plantain, I recommend you to Mama Shanti restaurant. If you love plantain, go there. In fact, we were talking and I say maybe Afum and Hawas may need to get a land and plant plantain plantation so that even if you want to eat plantain, The whole day in that restaurant is never out of stock. All right. So Afumi is saying this is an exciting show. Thank you. Regina is saying, God bless you, Mom. You are impacting the world and you are looking fantastic. Thank you. Welcome, Alex. All right. Hi. Somebody is saying Kelly Banks, Hope Nasir, Hope Nashir. I think many people are using one gadget to watch us. Mugeti Ann is saying, we are proud of you, Alex, from Kenya, and we love you. So it's good to hear that people love you. We don't really hear too much of people loving people these days. It's most of people hating. So when we see people love you, we shout, yay! All right. So tonight here we are with Alex Chamwada in Nairobi, Kenya. The host has become the guest tonight. And so wherever you are across the globe, help me to share tonight's show. Please share. If you're on YouTube, let the link go viral. Go viral on your WhatsApp groups. Just take the link from YouTube or Facebook. Alert the world that something good is happening in Nairobi, Kenya. If you're on Facebook, make sure you have shared it right now. Let's be proud of what we have. Let's be proud of what we have, okay? This is Keep It Real Show. Keep It Real Show. A vision God placed in my heart during the heat of pandemic last year. And we started, and out of it has come several things that are shaping the lives of people. So please make sure you share. Don't forget our early morning prayer in church tomorrow, 15 minutes past 6, loading the womb of the month of March. For you, if you're from RCCG, we have been fasting from 11th of January. The fasting has been on and we'll be closing on the 14th of March. So it's very important that we welcome the month of March in the temple, because God has been so gracious to have kept us fasting every day. And we saw February, we didn't faint, we didn't collapse. Now we need to guide our, put on our girdle and make sure that the month of March is welcome right there at the stage, at the temple. So 6:15 a.m. tomorrow, every road leads to Solution Center and Bagati Way to open the womb of the morning. If you are not able to join us live physically, please join us online. It's a 1 hour meeting, 6:15 to 7:15. Don't forget our evening sacrifice of tomorrow. Somebody will say, this church just pray. This church pray. You pray in the morning, 6:15, then again 8 p.m. tomorrow. We are back in prayer online on my page. Join us tomorrow in the evening, 8 p.m. Every road leads to Solution Center on Saturday for the gathering of stars and queens. Queen Esther's generation making a terrific move in our time. Saturday, physical meeting. I will be speaking on the topic, you are wired and empowered for success. Nobody under the influence of my voice is authorized to fail in life. You are not authorized to fail. And so on Saturday, please join me physically for 2 hours meeting, 2 to 4. You are wired and you are empowered to succeed in life. The kind of sermon God has given me for Saturday is terrific. You need to know who you are. And I'm not talking about those motivational things you have had before. You will hear it in a different dimension where the spirit that is in you will rise up to deal with the things that are, fighting against your flesh and your identity. Don't miss the gathering of stars and queens on Saturday, 2 o'clock. On Thursday, I'll be live on Hope FM from 8:15 p.m. I'll be live on Hope FM. So follow me on my Facebook Live, because by God's grace, when I'm there in the studio, I connect to my Facebook so that you can follow what is happening in the studio. Some of you sometimes don't get frequency stable where you are. So follow me on Facebook. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want us now to give our own very Alex clapping ovation. We normally say standing ovation Tonight, it is clapping ovation. Wherever you are, let's give him a clap ovation. 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 Glory be to God. All right. Now, Alex, I am
Yes.
now coming to you. Let me begin by asking, who is Alex Chamwada? And in terms of your family background, a little, just in 1 or 2 minutes, who are you? Are you married? Do you have children? What does your wife do? And just who are you? We don't want to assume that we know who you are. We see you on TV, but we don't really know who are thou.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much, Pastor. And I take this opportunity to thank all those who've tuned in. I've been following the comments on Facebook, and they're terrific, Pastor. Everyone is wired. I thought I'm the only one who was wired. We are wired. Thank you so much. I'm really, really excited. And it feels nice to also to be hosted, because I'm used to hosting people, asking people questions. And you forgot to say, maybe you should have said that it's the case of the hunter becoming the hunter becoming the hunted, or the
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, correct. You are right. Whichever way, English is not our primary language, so it is correct. We understand. The hunter is becoming the hunted. Yeah.
Okay, great. Alex Chamwada is a village boy. I was brought up in some village like many other people. You know, in Vihiga County. My village is called Elongo Village in Sabatia constituency, Vihiga County. And that's where I schooled. My primary school was called Elongo. I'm sure my former schoolmates would be glad to hear Chamwada mentioning the primary school name. Yeah, and then high school, I went to St. Peter's Mumias High School. It's in Kakamega County. And university, I went to Moi University in Eldoret. And I studied information sciences. That was my first degree. And you won't believe it, my life was just village there, you know, primary school, village, high school, village, university, village, so to speak. The first time I was coming to Nairobi was in 1994 when I was in my second year in Moi
1994.
Yeah.
That was just 1 year before Pastor Prince landed in Kenya to start the church. And you were just coming from village. And you are making this wave.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
A village boy. So that was my first time, and the story is so long. I'll let her say how I ended up coming to Nairobi. And by the way, that's the first time I went on air, you know, from the village coming to Nairobi, and I was on KBC radio in the evening on air. You know, that's a miracle. So my family, my father was a pastor. He passed on in the year 2009. My mother is my father was called Haman Ayego. He passed on in the year 2009. My mom is in the village. She's a strong woman, you know, very strong. I'm who I am because of my parents, my strong father, very disciplinarian. My mother is known for singing. She can sing better than you, Pastor, you know, with those.
If you use me, then your mother doesn't know how to sing. If you say your mother can preach more than me, then it makes sense. If you say your mother will sing more than me, then people will know that your mother does not even have tone. So look for other people that you will compare your mother with.
Yeah, those who know her can attest to that. My family now, my wife works with the Safaricom in HR department. Her name is Caroline Irako Chamwada, a great partner of mine. She's really supported me in whatever I've done. I've grown because of my family. My firstborn is called Chelsea Asagi Chamwada. She's about to begin her exams from 4. I mean, I think it's later this month. And so you said earlier, Pastor, we will be bringing her, you start mentoring her.
Yes.
So we pray for her. She's going to do her exams this month. My second born is Leon Luvai Chamwada. He goes to Strathmore School. He's in Form 2. Then our last born, Casey, the girl you spoke to earlier, goes to Makini School. Okay. So that's my family. And of course, I'm a journalist by training. My first degree was information sciences, but then when I came to Nairobi, I was able to get a scholarship to study a postgraduate diploma in mass communication at the University of Nairobi. And then I got a master's in politics and the mass media in 2004 from the University of Liverpool. I've worked with the various media houses. I volunteered for a while, even with the non-mainstream media. I used to do religious programs for Transworld Radio, and I think those are that's the background that really made who I am, and the blessings from God. I used to go around the country doing religious programs, especially children's programs with Transworld Radio. And then I went to KBC, and now for news reporting from the year 2000, from the year 1998. I was the first reporter of Royal Media Services when they began their radio in the year 1999. And then later on, I joined KTN, and then back to Citizen in 2008. I resigned in 2014 to begin my own company. It is called Chams Media Limited. So all the programs you've been seeing are produced independently by my company, Chams Media Limited. I'm known for the show about experiences of people living or working beyond their mother countries. It is known as Daring Abroad. And I do documentaries, and all that you see on air is independently produced by my team. I've employed 10 people, and I work with 10 more freelancers. So I put food on the table of quite a number of people, and I mentor young people who I've been working with. That is Alex Chamwada for you.
Wow, 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 wow. Interesting. That's powerful. That's powerful. You know, as you were talking about your journey in the media world, I could just see people normally see people and they think that they just grew overnight. They just grew overnight. But look at where you have even volunteered in some media houses, volunteering, going up and down. And those are the things that God used to put your pieces together to make you who you are. As you talked of KBC, I don't know whether you were there when I used to do Good Morning Kenya in the 90s. When I first came to Kenya, I was doing Good Morning Kenya every 6 a.m. on KBC.
Yeah, I remember that. So, but my stint at KBC, you'll be surprised. So in 1994, when I began doing voluntary radio production and presenting, I was still in Moy University. So for 1994, and then I graduated in 1996, continued to volunteer in radio, but television I joined in 1998. And I used to watch you. Yes, we may never have met in the corridors, but I used to watch you, and I used to like that program.
Yeah, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Very early in the morning. I am live from KBC saying, Good morning, Kenya. Good morning, Kenya. I don't know why they stopped that Good Morning Kenya show. It was a very good show. I don't know why KBC stopped it. It was a very good show long time ago. So as people are watching, they are getting to understand that the journey to greatness is not an overnight success. There's nothing like overnight success. Is you can track it back. I am trusting God that one of these fine days, God will give us our own radio station, because I have broadcasted on the radio for too long for others. You know, started with KBC, then later now Hope FM from 2005 up to date. I also was in Biblia Osema. I was also in Truth FM. So virtually radio, and there was a time I was in Kiss FM. So also, what was the name of the radio station of NTV? Their radio arm.
It was Nation FM. Yeah, Nation FM.
Something FM.
No, it kept changing the names. There was Nation FM and I'll search it. I'll get it.
I don't know. There was one. I used to do radio program also, broadcasting on the radio for NTV in NTV. All right. Thank God for that background. I'm sure it is inspiring people. Now I will come back to your story of how you flew. The first time how you landed in a media platform from village, because that will be interesting in a few minutes. But before then, tell us the genesis of Daring Abroad, because it appears that's what people can identify you with now. So tell us the genesis of Daring Abroad. How did it come about?
Okay, do I begin with my first stint on radio or daring abroad? I think let me begin.
No. The daring abroad. I'll come back to your first.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to hear. People want to know this daring abroad. How did you get into this stuff?
Wow. Again, it's a
One of
long
my
journey.
members have reminded me. He says Easy FM. Easy
Yes,
FM.
yes.
Yeah,
Easy FM.
William Abida, thank you. It is Easy FM. I used to be on Easy FM. Thank you. Many of you, 3 of you have reminded me it's Easy FM. Yeah. So my legs have been here and here in different media stations. Go ahead.
Well, Pastor, daring abroad, I always get amazed. It's something. I mean, you know, when you plant something and you wake up and you find it has filled the whole compound, that it was such a tiny seed that even maybe you'd have thrown away. It is amazing and quite for me, it's quite emotional, this thing called daring abroad. How did it begin? It stems from my experience in the newsrooms as an employed journalist. Let me give credit to all the places I've worked to, because you have to begin somewhere. You get experience. You know how to package stories. You get trips, both local, international. But I reached a point when I was really bored, Pastor. Really bored. What do I mean? That for me, it became routine. And I know there are many who are listening to me when their career has become a routine. And I mean, you can always find a way of rejuvenating it within where you are or from outside. There are many ways of rejuvenating your career. I felt I can't continue churning out and reporting about the obvious, the press conferences. I don't know what I mean, and the top story ordinarily, and especially on Kenyan media, is the politics, the sensation, the drama, the negative, So I got bored with just doing that every day. And I thought, I have the networks, I have the experience, I can do much more. So when you are within the newsroom, then you are confined to a certain way of doing things. And yes, I would travel. I would go up even abroad to do stories. People remember me for covering the US elections. People remember me for covering The Hague. Hague was quite something. But when you are there, you see some other stories. You see human interest stories. You see stories about Kenyans or other nationalities working outside their countries. You want to churn out those stories, but you rarely get a moment or an opportunity to air them. Because the big story is the sensation, is the drama, and you have to come back quickly. That camera is needed in Kakamega. What are you still doing in Hague? I'm just giving us professional, genuine examples. So I was bored and decided, I think I can tell my own story, and I can form my own entity and occupy my own space and still be on media. It's possible. I convinced myself it's possible. But even at that time, it was not even the daring abroad per se that was in mind. I just wanted to come out and churn out the content that I feel media, either they lack the time or the resources or the opportunity to cover. People want to hear development stories, human interest stories. There are other things happening. That's the story I wanted to tell. I got tired of politics. I wanted, when I do a story and I'm even at home with my family watching, I feel that we can watch together with my children, my wife, my relatives, and feel happy, go to bed happy. It had reached a point where that negative story I would go to bed a pensive person, in pensive mood, and not feeling nice. I want to do things when I go to bed, I feel nice. What do I mean by the negative stories? Especially politics. You do a political story, there are those you've really hurt because they don't like what you did, they're abusing you, and with social media, they're all over abusing you. Others will be praising you. In a nutshell, I wanted a different story. So I came out and formed Chams Media, and I stayed for 1 year jobless because no media was buying my idea. And it's not easy that you can say you have content you want to sell to media or partner with the media. It has really to be one that they feel they'll get the audience, the big audience. And for entertainment, it's easier to market and get your way on air. But mine was current affairs and the so-called boring story, because I was being told, who will watch your development content? I mean, it's boring. It's not sexy. That's the language we use in newsroom.
Yeah.
It's not sexy enough. But I convinced myself it will work one day. So I was literally, although I had my company, but what I mean, I was just trying and filming and putting up concepts. So I put up a concept called the Chamwada Report. Now that was content, mainly local content about agriculture, environment. Many people remember the Chamwada Report. The other concept was daring abroad. So I walked around in media houses for a year and I was really doing badly. It was tough. It was tough, but we thank God that I managed to get somewhere. So when KTN News Channel began their new channel, the second channel, KTN News, they needed content and the editors and the management. Alex is someone we can work with, to partner with, to give us content, because they had all the time being a current affairs channel. So that's where it began. And then so they took both my shows, Daring Abroad and the Chamwada Report. Now, beginning daring abroad, how would you even travel all over the world? How? It is expensive. I mean, to fly around, logistics, accommodation. The story is long, but I've managed. Some thought then I'm employed because people would see me, because of my background, people would see me with Daring Abroad and the Chamwada Report and they think I'm employed. So I'm on a salary. No, I was not on a salary. I was in business that I will only be paid what I've delivered. And the good thing with KTN, then they allowed me to partner, to get partners who can support the production. And that's why the partners like Kenya Airways came in handy to support my travels around the world. And of course, when you're out there, you are likely to get a partner in Australia. You are likely to get, so my content has come out a long way because of partnerships, because of networks, and not really because of the big money. It's not that I had big money to fly around. And Makiu, if say you wanted to be like Chamwada and you think it's the money that may make you pull such a content, it may not work. You could have a reporter give him or her 10 million shillings to go gather content outside there and come back with nothing, and send me with almost nothing in the pocket, and I come back with lots and lots of content. So that's the genesis of Daring Abroad. So we had a good partnership with the Standard Media Group, and then we moved it to NTV. It's business. I know people know what I mean. And there are many factors that count where you are today, where you are tomorrow. So for currently, the show is running on NTV every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and repeated every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. That's the genesis of Daring Abroad.
Wow. Now, viewers, those of you watching us, if you have not shared this thing, you are an enemy of progress. Can I tell you that? If you have not shared, you are just there writing and saying, wow, commenting, you are an enemy of progress. We need to promote what we are doing locally here. We need to dominate it on the social media. You heard what he said, that if the people thought it was not sexy, so who will watch it? That is the narrative. The world wants everything that is sexy. Once it's not sexy, it cannot be sold on the social media. It's you and I to stop that narrative. We need to change it and correct it. Our business must not be sexy before it is bought. And that's why we depend on you to market what is right, what is inspiring, what will encourage the youth of today to know that you can come from the village and become a global figure. That you started from the village does not mean you will die in the village and be buried in the village. So please, if you are watching us tonight, make sure you have shared. I've been told that almost half of you who didn't share. You need to share. I want to believe that you were too excited to see Alex, so you forgot to share. Because I know I have a fantastic audience who likes to share. So please share widely. Let's inspire our generation and the next generation, especially within the African continent. Now, as before we move on again with Alex, I want to let you know that my guest for next Sunday will be the wife of Dr. David Washira, Cecilia Washira. If you had watched their show with Jeff on a Citizen and not long ago, last week or so, you would have been shocked how a girl decided to choose the path of photography. Dr. David Washira works with World Bank, Washington D.C., a Kenyan, and is married to a Norwegian. And the lady is a photographer. But if you had listened to her show with Jeff, you heard when she talked about she had photographed Biden, President Biden when he was vice president, Clinton, Obama, Pope. And so we were in our house. They came to our house on Monday, and we were chatting to get all the background while we were having dinner with them in our house. And what I heard from her, I asked her, how did you get to photograph these people, to go to State House, White House, to photograph a girl like you? How? By the time she told me the story of how she met them, how she met this president and Pope, oh my God, let me not break that news for you. You will see that most of the things I personally teach you people in the church during the faith clinic, honestly speaking, and in our women's meeting with Esther, if you package them and package your life, let me tell you, even heaven will be your limit. This one they say sky. Sky is just your starting point. Heaven will be your final destination. The things she was telling us at the dining table on Monday, Thursday, we actually hosted them. I think it was on Thursday. Yeah, it was on Thursday a few days ago. The things she was sharing with us at the table, how she penetrated into these men, they are the things that you have been taught again and again. But it will be good to hear it from her. Then cultural, intercultural marriage, Kenyan and from Norway. How is he working? How is he blending? How is she blending with food and things? You need to understand some of these things. So don't miss our show on Sunday with Cecilia Washira. We want to know, and how is she surviving in the terrain of men, photography? So let's have her on the show on Sunday. Don't miss it, 8 p.m. and get your questions ready. All right, back to you, my brother. What do you normally get feedback about daring abroad? If you do, what impact do you think it is making?
Daring Abroad is a global show, so it's watched across the world. It airs, of course, on a mainstream TV in Kenya, NTV, but that time it's running, people share the live link, NTV live link. You'll be surprised, while you are watching it here in Nairobi, people in America, in Australia, are equally watching it live. And then there are those who go to my YouTube channel. All our shows go on Chams Media TV YouTube channel. It's called Chams Media TV. That's a YouTube channel. So they get all our content there. The feedback we get is amazing. One, Daring Abroad connects people. I'll give you an example. We featured, and by the way, we've made it richer because it's not just about stories. It should be about impact too. So we have a segment called Kenya to the World. So we'll feature, for example, when we feature you, Pastor Esther, we will feature you, but in that show we'll take a break and do something called Kenya to the World, where we follow a Kenyan product from Kenya to the world. And then we have another segment called My Magical Kenya. In this segment, what I wanted is to show people that I'm not just a globetrotter. I'm not just living abroad. I experience Kenya. I explore Kenya before you see me in New York. So on that show, I'll be telling you I'm in New York, but before I came to New York, I found time to explore Lake Victoria. So home and away. That is the nature of the show now. So the impact is huge. We featured a company called Mess Foods, and it was started by a very ingenious, hardworking lady called Margaret in Eldoret. So she exports traditional vegetables, saga, managu, kunde. When we featured her, she got so many calls, and she got clients from as far as Canada, from as far as Japan, India. That's the impact of Daring Abroad. Now, for those who are featured, again, just sharing your experience. It's inspiring. It's educative. It's it's just it opens people's minds. In other words, we say we bring the word world right into the living rooms of our viewers, or at the fingertips of our viewers, because you're able to watch on your phone. Imagine, so we bring the world, or we say it's a show that takes you around the world without a visa. You don't need a visa, we'll take you around the world. So, and you see the world, you experience, and there are policymakers in Kenya who've learned from our program. We did a story on a Kenyan who was involved in transforming London, the transport system in London. And I was called by the authorities and I was asked for his contact. He was called, he came here, and is partnering and helping to fix our transport systems in Kenya. That is impact. Even policymakers take ideas from our program. The gentleman I featured in Botswana, who has 1,000 beef cattle on 22,000 acres of land, Willie Katurima, keeps calling me, and he told me I exposed him to the world. Not many people knew him. He's become a consultant. People call him, and I can share here without fear of contradiction. We've had the leaders who visit Botswana, and they go to his farm to learn, including our Speaker, Justin Muturi of the National Assembly, other leaders, economists, professionals, people from the Kenya Meat Commission, that what is it that our guys, our Botswana is doing in beef farming that we can do also. And remember, Botswana's people are taught by Kenyan professionals as far as beef farming is concerned. But you see, Botswana is able to export to EU market. I think we've had a challenge as Kenya not being able to export to the EU market. So you share a lot. He's been able to share. When he comes to Kenya, he's a celebrity. Everyone is looking for him. That's the impact in a summary of Daring Abroad. I've met young people. I was in Virginia last month, and I met a young guy who is studying cybersecurity, and he was excited. He's like he had seen God. He said, "Oh, no, I can't believe I'm seeing you here in Virginia." He had just reported a week earlier, and he told me he was inspired by my show to go abroad to study cyber security. That's the impact of Daring Abroad.
Wow. I can testify to this. You remember how you shocked me in Connor Brooks yes. Some years back, just about 3 years ago or 4 years ago, when I landed very early in the morning and the cold was unbearable. I had put my long skirt, my ties, everything. I was covered. I had no clue that you were waiting for me at the airport in Canada. Is it called, what's the name of that airport? Lake, Deer Lake.
I don't know. Deer Lake. Yes, Deer Lake Airport.
Deer Lake Airport. So yes. we came in very early, like 1 a.m. and the cold was horrible. See me with very native sweater, putting too many things, looking for Rosalie to pick me. Oh, who did I see? Alex and crew at the airport. I say, what?
With a camera.
With a camera. Welcome. I changed my style of work. I knew that this one, I cannot put that kind of sweater on me. I needed to push that sweater away a bit. So Professor Roslyn in Canada is saying, yes, mommy, that was a good surprise for you. It was a good surprise. I mean, I cannot forget that. From the airport, 1 a.m., that shows the dedication you have in your job. And all the way, all our programs were covered. The free food program, the free food program we did, feeding program, the hospital, the elderly home, everywhere, and the mayor. I think you went with us to the mayor's place. When the mayor received us, you were there. And by the time you packaged that story and we watched it in Nairobi, oh my God, really you are doing a tremendous work. Really you are doing a tremendous work. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I want you to get ready your questions. Don't just be hailing us. You may ask one question that may help. I want to ask you one question apart from the regular one. You mentioned when you were talking that one of the things that actually moved you from your comfort zone, in quote, to where you are is that you felt that you didn't have fulfillment in your career. You go to a point where there was no satisfaction. You come to work and you just repeat yourself. It's like just repeating and reinventing the wheels all over and all over until you said no. Where is the missing link in the society, in the media? Where is the gap? I want to fill in the gap. The news is filled up with bad news, with all kinds of things. I needed to make a difference. Can you speak to somebody out there who at this point is feeling that I don't have any longer fulfillment or satisfaction in my current work? I'm not talking about lazy people who are looking for easier way out, because what you are doing is not easy. To actually manage your own is more difficult than managing for somebody. And I believe that's why Jesus said, if you are not faithful in that which is another man's, who will give you yours? Because yours will be more difficult. So you need to be very faithful when you are an employee before you become an employer. So what do you tell somebody who is saying, I think I'm tired of what I'm doing now, I need a change?
Wow, it's normally a very difficult decision. It's normal to feel tired. It's normal to feel it's now routine. But it depends. I mean, people are different. People are different. There are those who will do one job forever and it's fulfilling. So it's not that it's you should follow into my footsteps. No, it just depends on individuals. There are those who are okay. It's fine. I don't say do like what Alex Chamwada did. It can be quite risky. First of all, you can still reinvent yourself where you are, and there are many organizations that give people opportunities, so that's fine. So it depends on where you work. There are some who give you even support to go do some studies, and that can make you feel different, better, come back with better skills. You know, even a 2-month course somewhere, a 1-year course somewhere, it gives you some rejuvenation. Some are happy because they're able to grow maybe vertically or horizontally. You get promotion, maybe in newsroom, maybe you are a reporter, then you become a senior reporter, you become a political editor or features editor, next a managing editor, next editorial director, who knows, maybe the chief executive officer, the CEO. But there are always never opportunities for everyone to become a CEO. Is it possible for all of us to become a CEO? No. For me, I wanted to grow horizontally. I never liked, those who know me, I didn't want to go up, become an editor. I like hands-on fieldwork reporting, what my talent is. And when I've spent time in international media, I've worked at Voice of America in Washington, D.C., I've worked for BBC, I've worked for CNN in Atlanta, Georgia. And you find even an editor who is barely 5 years of experience is like the boss of someone who is experienced, like Christiane Amanpour. So Amanpour is known for growing horizontally. She'll be able to get you president. She'll do a nice talk show. So why do you want to remove her from where she's good and make her an editor? It doesn't make sense. So that's one challenge that we face in media houses here, where for you to earn better, to get better emolument or rewards, then you have to become an editor and an editorial director, a CEO. So it kills many people's ability to grow, because you can only grow up. Yet some of us want to grow horizontally. So that empower me to grow horizontally. Give me better rewards. Even it may not be monetary, but just support, even resources, to do even what you love. For example, if I love human interest stories, development stories, can I be empowered and be given the leeway even to help the station get support, get the partners, go to KQ, be able to do it internally? But you find then you are constricted to the routine because there is no space for those stories. So that is a challenge. But let me speak to those who may be bored. That was your question. So one, try and make it where you are. If not, there are alternatives. Maybe there are people who live and even begin using their talent now to do it outside. If you are employed as an agriculturalist somewhere, it's possible you can become a very good farmer on your own and get a shamba somewhere. So you can do it outside if you feel comfortable and you have all the networks, and it can be fulfilling, can be quite fulfilling when you are your own boss. So don't don't give up. You know, while you don't have an alternative, remain where you are because that is what you have now. Don't jump out if you don't have a plan. That's another thing. Plan, and are you comfortable? Do you have? For me, I was confident at the networks and a plan, and I knew it would work, and I prayed over it. So I didn't just jump out for the sake of it. That's the advice I could give.
That's a brilliant one. Being an employer and somebody who interacts with people here and there over the years, I have seen people who just jumped out of their career. Maybe somebody, after watching you today, we say, I'm no longer feeling fulfilled in my office. When I want to wake up to go to office, I am angry. They go and resign on Monday. Tomorrow, they resign and say, Alex says, you look for something. Yeah, so that's not what you're saying. I always say, before you take that kind of step, have a solid plan. Have a solid plan. Don't just wake up one day and resign from your job, and you get there and you discover 1 year, 2 years, nothing going on. You go into depression. That's why many people are depressed. But also know the time to exit. When your plan is there, it may not be fully matured, but you know that there is something you have. Like you say, you knew the network you have created will really work. Thank you for that. Viewers, don't forget, tomorrow morning is our Loading the Womb, 6:15 a.m. physically in church and online at the same time. We'll be loading the womb of the month of March. Please join us. In the evening will be evening turning point prayer, evening sacrifice on this my page. Join us in prayer. I tell you, this year we are praying like we have never done before. And so please join us. When you are getting tired, just log in and you hear our voices, just be saying amen. So join us tomorrow by 8 p.m. If you have testimonies, please let's get your testimonies quickly. Send it on email, send it on WhatsApp so that we can share with people and get them encouraged to keep on praying. When we only pray without saying what God is doing, we rob him of his glory. Let's give him the glory that belongs to him, because he will not share it with any man. On Saturday, every road, please lead to RCCG Solution Center. If you don't know where we are located, we are right on Mbagati Way, opposite the Armed Forces Memorial Hospital. You can actually take route number 16. We have not resumed our free bus for now because of COVID protocol. So please make sure you come to the meeting physically, 2 hours, 2 to 4. We are talking about wired and empowered to succeed. What a timely sermon after listening to Alex, that you are wired and empowered. God has wired you, but what we are doing tonight is to empower you to succeed. So make sure you are there on Saturday physically. If you are not able to make it, join us on Queen Esther's Generation YouTube and Facebook. Queen Esther's Generation YouTube and Facebook on Saturday. Don't forget that my guest on Sunday will be Cecilia Washira, the wife to Dr. David Washira, and they were featured last week on Citizen. Let's see how a Norwegian is married to a Kikuyu boy. Let's see how a photographer, a young lady is a photographer who has photographed presidents. Let's hear her story and get inspired. Don't forget to share. Please keep sharing. All right. People have questions for you, but I will end up with their questions. I want to ask you a question about a meeting, one opportunity that you had last year, and you used it very well. Sometime last year, you met His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta at Michuku Park impromptu. It was unplanned. It was impromptu. He was taking a walk, and here you were, and you met him, and two of you began to work together. I wish I could post your photo with the president on this screen. I don't know if I had gotten these photos earlier, my crew would have posted it for us. But by the time you sent it, it was already late. I didn't want to tamper with any gadget here before things will go haywire. I see you doing like this with the president. See, two of you were greeting with elbow. Like, good. Yeah, that is him and that is him and the president that doing like this greeting. He met the president, he bumped into the president, and he now began to walk with him, and they started chatting. Excellent. Yeah, correct. That is him. They now started walking side by side. Please talk about it. What can make the president of the Republic of Kenya to have confidence in security around you? That two of you started walking like two of you left the room together, and you just bumped into each other. Please say something about it.
First of all, again, as I said, I normally do documentaries with the partners. Some could be parastatals, NGOs. So around that time, we were producing a documentary on Michuki Park. Michuki Park is a new park just behind Kijabe Street, if you know Kijabe Street, and the National Museum. So it has been rehabilitated. So it was being rehabilitated and had been called by the CS for Environment, then Keriako Tobiko. So we had been filming. It took a while. Some of these documentaries take a while, for about a month, just documenting the cleaning up, the planting of grass. So so we were almost completing. So I'd gone. The miracle is even not me. Let me surprise you, Pastor. So there is a new cameraman who had joined us, and I know he allows me normally to share his story. His name is Eric Maweu. He had joined us at Champs Media. So in the previous day, he had filmed. I was doing a sign out. We call it a sign out, or pieces to camera, where you are introducing a documentary or saying bye-bye to viewers. So the previous day, he had not done a good job. The video was, for the professionals, whitewashed or not looking good. That was on a Saturday. So when we were editing, my video editor and the video editor said, this can't pass. You have to repeat. So a Sunday morning. So if I want another one, I would have been annoyed and called another experienced cameraman to go back, redo the shooting and leave out Eric. But I called Eric, and I knew I like giving people and training them. Let's go do it again. And so in fact, when he came to the office immediately. So the video editor explained to him, when you film it this way. The color is not very good. So we went back to Michuki Park on Sunday with this cameraman called Eric Maweu. Now, so when we had just finished recording my sign out and I had my microphone on, and remember, I've given Eric another chance to just do it better. Then Eric notices some vehicles coming, and he says, look, he noticed Major General Badi, the Director General of Nairobi Metropolitan Services, is the one he noticed first. You know, he's tall. So later on, he was like, no. Then I saw the president. So I told him, no, he's with the president. So they came in and announced when we had just finished recording my son out at Michuki Park. So, you know, the security were coming and like, let me not use the word pushing, which is a better word, you know, like telling us to go aside, the president is coming, you know, and of course, ordinarily it wouldn't be okay to just film the president, because why, you know, unless it's arranged, because it may require communication from State House, you know, because most of the times, and I can assure you, he does a lot of impromptu visits to the major projects happening in Nairobi. Impromptu, you've seen it, even in the streets. He even, I mean, goes to very unlikely places. So that was one of those where coverage is not really needed. So immediately, you know, he's very fast, the president. So he walked towards where we were. So I removed my mask so that he can notice me. They say, hey, Alex, you know, he can be quite charming. Hey, what are you doing here? So I told him, yeah, I've been documenting the progress here of Michuki Park. Oh, yeah, you know, so he warmed up and said, oh, yeah, I see the work you do. You do a lot of work in development communication. So he said, yeah, and have you filmed that? You see, by the time he was already saying, and have you filmed how clean the river is? The security are already like, Alex, you see, is accepted. So they were even assisting me and my cameraman. So you see, I didn't even have time to tell the cameraman what to do, or is the mic on. Luckily enough, the mic was on, and the president allowed us to film. So he said, film, but don't air until I open the pack. So we call it embargoing. Embargo. You embargo the story. So when I open the pack, then you can air, you release it. So we kept the footage to respect the president. Imagine a whole president talking to me and saying, embargo this, film me, but keep it.
Oh.
Now we didn't turn it into an interview. So it became a natural walk of like he's asking me, and this, I see how this has become clean, Alex. And then I would share my experience abroad. And then I remembered, if Dr. Rosaline is there listening to me, how parks in Canada, Cornerbrook are clean and the rivers clean. So I shared my experience and what I've seen abroad. And yeah. And the president says, I've been watching your work. So there was a lot we filmed. When I packaged and ran on our YouTube, we only ran what we could have, because other things are not really, you don't have to put everything on air, because some were informal, discussions that were quite informal. And we worked with them for about half an hour, you can imagine, and just listening to me.
You were working with the president without an appointment?
No appointment. How many people are looking for appointment? Almost the entire term until the president requires, and you never got appointment. And here, imagine it's in a park, not even at State House. You are walking Kichakani, Narais, in a park. You know what I mean? And Eric is there filming, and the security are even aiding Eric, just going ahead him to make sure he doesn't trip and fall. Eric, and I was amazed seeing Eric is now a star. Eric, the guy who had messed up the work. So I was praying that this time round he gets it right. If he doesn't get it right, we'll kill him. And amazing, Eric filmed the best of, he has never filmed like that. The video is clean. It's on YouTube if you want to watch. Eric, imagine a second chance for Eric. So the story revolves around Eric more than me. So that was the story, and then he said bye-bye, and then, that you've seen inaitwa kugotea, you've seen us doing like this. So, and he said, asante sana, Alex, and he told me other stories I should do. He instructed me, go to Kisumu, do ABCD, that development content, and I watch your content. So that is how I met the president.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a round of applause before we go to the final section of this show. My goodness. As we are talking, people say that I can preach with anything, and it is true. I can see a rabbit going, and someone has come out of rabbit. From what you have said now, I see a young man, Eric, who has a right attitude to work, to correction, correction. I can tell you that there are some young people today that if they were the people that were told what you shot, the quality is not good. The quality is not good. You go and repeat it, they will be angry. They will be murmuring, they'll be complaining that imagine the time invested. For them, it is about the time they've put, not about the quality, the satisfaction of the job. For them, we spend the whole day. But you see, if somebody knows his profession, you can spend the whole day to prepare something and you don't use it, and you repeat it until you get what you want. I think, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching me and you don't have the right attitude to corrections, you don't have right attitude to work, I can tell you for free, you will not cross even 1 kilometer of your career. You will just be going 1 kilometer back, 1 kilometer back, 1 kilometer back. It was because this guy has a right attitude that he followed you. He could have missed this moment. If he was angry, he could have missed it. And now look at you, the gift of a man maketh room for him and bringeth him before kings. Seest thou a man that is diligent in his work? He shall not stand before me men, but he shall stand before kings. It is the spirit of excellence at work. It is what you are doing that the president craves time to watch, that gave you the opportunity to meet him. And I mean, if it was somebody, perhaps somebody else, they would have said, no, maybe next time.
Can I tell you something? So CS, and I wish they were watching, CS Tobiko, because I'd been meeting with the Tobiko earlier, the previous weekends. We used to go there weekends. So on this particular day, he was not there. So I called him and told him, hey, CS, I've just met the president at the park. He said, no, what do you mean? you want to take my job, on a light note. I mean, you can imagine the CS in charge is not there and I'm not there. And then I sent him the picture. He said, wow, Alex, aren't you blessed that I'm not there as the CS and you are working with the president like you are the CS for environment?
That is a picture you will cherish forever. Sometimes in our African context, people think that everything revolves around money. There is this poverty mentality of money. Because for the Western world, for them, this memory worth much more than $1 million. That you could freely walk with the president in a park. President is not, even though he's a Kenyan citizen, but it's God that puts people in authority. He's not like anybody on the street. So for you to walk with him like that, it's a memory that even your children's children, I hope in your house you have a big portrait of you. In our sitting room here, even in my office, I have a big portrait of where I was in the State House talking with the president and his deputy. Just after they were sworn in, I was part of the clergy that went to the State House to congratulate them and to pray for them. And I was the one that was nominated to present a gift to the deputy in front of the president. We went with Rehad Bonke. So those pictures, if you ever break it, I will deal with you. For me, these are treasures I love in my life. So this is a great story. Now, before we take one or two questions from people, from what you have experienced, what is the difference between this and what happened not long ago between the president and the actor Tokodi? Because the thing has been trending here and there that he met the president. And for the young man, he's happy. He's happy that he met the president, but the people are crucifying him that he didn't ask for ABCD. Can you just comment on, I don't know whether you have seen the comments on media, on social media about that.
Yeah. Well, that's social media for you. There are those who would feel jealous. There are those who just want to comment for the sake of it. But you can imagine anybody, if you meet a president, I mean, it's impromptu. If it's impromptu, I mean, whatever comes and you're able to share with him, it's a great moment. Feel happy. It's nice. Even if you told him yesterday I ate ugali and the kunde, it's fine. I mean, it's fine. So for me, I don't like the trolling that normally happens because it was his moment. And the president was happy, was responding.
In Kenya, we like to bully people. We like to bully people on social media, and which is very bad. Because for me, I was so happy for the boy. And eventually the president sat down, watched his show. So for him, it was a moment for him and the president. He didn't prepare a speech on BBI or speech on economic progress. How those things are not his issue at that moment. Even if he said, long live president, that was all. But they have been bullying this boy for nothing. So anyway, I think I will use him in my preaching on Wednesday. I've decided I will play that video on Wednesday and see the audience of our church people and ask them, assuming you were the one that met the president, what would you have said? So those of you that will be in Faith Clinic, begin to prepare for me for that meeting. Let's take, our time is up, but let's take 2 or 3 minutes to answer questions here so that our audience can be much happier. Somebody is asking, are you thinking of relocating abroad? Because the Kenyans love to relocate abroad. Are you thinking of relocating abroad? What do you say?
No, I'm not thinking of relocating abroad because I've already had lots and lots of experience abroad. I'm who I am because of a combination of experience from the village to Nairobi to Citizen TV where I work to KTN, KBC. All that has made me complete. You know, there's this mentality abroad is always the best. But you see, look at where I've reached, or you, Pastor Esther, or for me. I mean, all my networks are here and they are global that I can get Dr. Roslyn in Canada, just like that. I can make a call even at State House. I can get a business to do here. So I'm happy and I'm based here. It doesn't mean if I relocate abroad and then that's the better life for me. No. And you've heard the stories I've been sharing from people who are abroad. They will tell you east or west, home is the best. But again, remember, you can succeed anywhere. You can succeed in Kakamega, you can succeed in Mombasa, you can succeed in Nairobi, you can succeed in Canada, you can succeed in London. But what are you doing there? It's not just to move to Canada and be like Dr. Roslyn in Canada. It's not just moving for the sake of it. She had a purpose and she went there for a reason. She had a chance. So don't quit your job as a bank manager in Nairobi. You just want to go to America to do what? Yeah. Have a purpose in life that you could be doing better here than even someone in Canada. You've heard of stories abroad where people are really suffering. And abroad, I mean, you must work and pay bills. Your credit is very important. Your credit rating, everything. There are things you can do easily here. You may not sleep hungry here very easily. In abroad, you are likely to sleep hungry because no one is caring, no one is listening to you. But I'm not saying you don't go abroad. I was using that to say, for me, I'm okay here, and I'm still able to do stuff abroad while I'm here in Kenya. I'm fine here in Kenya.
I am fine too. As far as I'm concerned, I'm fine too. When we travel abroad, when we are coming back, once we land at Jomo Kenyatta Airport, you feel like, I'm back home. So I think home is where you are finding fulfillment in your purpose. Anywhere that you are finding expression of your purpose in life, that is home for you. And when the world opens up for you, you have the ability. It's a global village. You can go anywhere. So he is not thinking of relocating. Somebody is asking, what happens when you give your show to the media houses like NTV, and for one reason or the other, they don't air it? Do you have a fallback?
Okay. When it was on KTN, I was being paid a monthly retainer. And just to share with you, mostly what you are likely to be paid is not enough to sustain the show. But we had an arrangement with KTN where I had partners, not really even monetary, but as I told you, you can pull so much in life, not because of that cash money, but your networks. So we were able to pull it, and the KTN was a very good partner. But on NTV, we went into a different model where I'm buying airtime. That Daring Abroad you watch on NTV every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. I pay for that airtime and have a package plus commercial time where I have 7 minutes every week as part of the package and across the week. So I'm in business that I need to sell the 7 minutes every week. In a month, we have 28 minutes. So there are some adverts that run across the station and you may not know they came through us. We do commercials, we do infomercials, and a client can pick a whole month, 28. So we charge and that's how we recoup the money and pay in TV every month. I don't want to say how much, but you can just guess how much. It's not, airtime is not easy. So my 24 minutes on NTV is really all mine. And they don't remove a comma unless I'm a professional. So I wouldn't air anything that is obscene or unprofessional. So, but of course they preview first before it goes on air to just make sure everything is okay. But because I pay them, I have control of that 24 minutes as my commercial time plus 7 minutes worth of advertising every week. So that's how it works. Now, because we are in that commercial relationship with the NTV, they wouldn't just drop the show at will. You remember, see, they also need the cash. So it's guaranteed that 7:30 is time for Daring Abroad, and there is a repeat every Sunday. So it's guaranteed. Unless there is a reason. For example, there's a time there was the London Marathon on Saturday. So they will inform us in time and say, we will not be able to air at 1:30, but we'll push it to air immediately. The London Marathon is over, and that was like around 3 p.m., which is still fine. So they can't just drop just at will.
Wow. Thank you so much. Because of our time, we are going to wrap it up with the final question. There are other questions, but I don't want us to go beyond this. Margaret is asking, have you ever thought of giving up? And while you were growing up, who was your mentor? Who mentored you into this? And have you ever thought of, this is too much, I want to give up?
Wow, there are those moments in life. Everyone has them. I mean, my story is big. We've just scratched the surface.
Yeah, of course. In
Just
1 hour,
scratched the
what can you
surface.
do? How many things?
Yeah. As I said earlier, my parents were my best mentors. My mom and my dad, and of course, in life, you keep. It depends on what. Like career-wise, there are those who I really looked up to for in terms of just advice. Some I may not have met them, but I just admired. I really loved the old KBC, the broadcasters of those days, Gladys Erude, Elizabeth Obege. Oh my goodness, they just made who I am. They made me. By I just used to admire, and I said I want to be a broadcaster like them. So mentors keep evolving. And even now, you see, people know me for Daring Abroad. And I don't know if I mentioned, we do documentaries that air even on other channels, Citizen, across. My voice is across. So if you are, we have a partner to pay us production, pay airtime. Sometimes we are the ones who book airtime for the partner. You'll see me on KTN, NTV, Citizen, and this is because of the mentorship I've gotten from those international channels. When I meet some of those broadcasters, because you'll be surprised, some of them are working as consultants. So you may see them on air, but are not employed. They're using their skills to earn a living. So I decided to turn my skills, to use my skills professionally, so that if you see me in streets, someone is counting money for me, I'm not being bribed. I'm using my skills as a professional. I'll charge you. Camera work costs this, editing
Absolutely.
costs this. So it's business. So, and that I do comfortably because I'm outside. If you are employed, a journalist, you are likely to be told that's bribery, that is unprofessional, that is against the code of ethics. Yes, there are moments, there are times I thought production and TV work was not paying very well. So uh, my wife and I, this we rarely share, but it's very, very, for the sake of this topic, we thought we can do some business in selling sugar. And you see people are like, oh, they made money selling sugar. This is in the year 2013. We burnt our fingers. We lost a lot of money that was not our money. We had borrowed. So you've borrowed money. It's not yours. So you've lost all that money in a dubious because someone conned us, took the sugar, but never paid us. It was, and at the time when I'd already quit my job at Citizen, while I'm still trying to find my way as an independent content producer, I thought we could make some coin in sugar. It was terrible. And up to now, it became a court case, but up to now, since 2013, nothing. So we lost money, a lot of money. And that's the time, like, I almost felt like I think the world has come to an end. But I quickly went back to my feet. And of course, when you do again things together with your spouse, it's easier because you are in that trouble together. You can imagine if I had gone quietly and done it alone, then I'm coming saying, hey, honey, I've lost money. So we prayed for each other, and she supported me, and we said, let's now go full throttle into content production. And in business, we are in business. There are times there's no money. Maybe your clients have not paid you, things are bad, you have to really work hard, find alternative to pay your staff. But I've learned so much in life where, unlike many other journalists, and I'm talking in good faith, I've learned how to manage a big team, and to manage a whole production that is business oriented, because most of my colleagues in newsrooms then would be managing not the business entity. What do I mean? I know how to file taxes and make sure I'm compliant, because a company to grow, you must be compliant, paying your taxes. So many things that I've learned, audits, issues of audits, your company, writing proposals, dealing with the bad clients, dealing with the crisis. So all that I've learned on the job while I've been outside. But yes, there are moments you feel like things are bad, but trust God, there'll be always a better moment and you'll always overcome your challenges.
Wow. I don't think there is anybody who is a success in life that has not at one time or the other given up. Yesterday, I was watching one of the billionaires in Nigeria. He was giving, there's a video I watched, Coscaris, and he was saying how somebody duped him some years ago of equivalent of about 200 million million dollars, which in Nigeria is billions. And it was a young man he trusted, somebody he felt I could help, and he helped him to take a loan from the bank, and the guy duped him. But today, he's one of the richest in Nigeria. So I think everybody has this moment in life, but that does not mean that we should be duped all the time. But once in a while, you can have your story. And so, ladies and gentlemen,
there's
this is
something
where
you asked that I can say in a minute. You had asked how I ended up at KBC.
Oh,
so
yes.
I used to love KBC, as I told you, listening to those broadcasters. And remember, those days it was only KBC. So you're on KBC, you are heard the entire nation or the entire world. So KBC, these FM stations came much later. So I used to know the programming on KBC from morning when the station is beginning. You remember they would close at some point at midnight, open in the morning. Amka kumepambazuka leo, you know that song. I knew all the broadcasters and programs from morning to midnight. So there was a particular program I liked. It was called Mwangaza, a current affairs program, just educating people on things like agriculture, things happening in the world. And the producer was called James Mwaura. So I used to listen to that program a lot. And I grew up listening on radio, and my parents knew. They would buy my car, the batteries, and make sure the radio is on throughout for me. So when I was in Moi University second year, there was this trip. We were going to Mombasa Environment Club, and I happened to be on that trip. And as I said, that was the first time I was coming to Nairobi. So we landed in Nairobi sometime in 1994 at Railways Club with a green bus. Those who know Moi University buses, then Volvo buses, green at Railways. And I'd been yearning, one day I should meet this James Mwaura. And I had crammed the telephone number of KBC because they would say the number at the end of the program. So when we were at Railway, something told me, no, look for James Mwaura. So when we were released for a lunch break of about 2 hours before we proceed to Mombasa, I decided, let me walk to KBC and look for James Mwaura. I walked from Railways, you know, Moi Avenue, then Harituk Road. I remember I used to hear that road on KBC. So at around Lillian Towers, I went into the booth, and we used to use coins those days. And I'd crammed the numbers. So I called the KBC and I said, I want to speak to James Mwaura. So the lady at the operator, found Mwaura immediately. Oh, then Mwaura came on phone and said, I'm Alex Chamwada. I was introducing myself in Kiswahili. I love your program, and I would want you to listen to me and incorporate me in your program as a presenter. Then James said, hey, you are so courageous. Where are you? I said, I'm at Lillian Towers. Do you know where KBC is? I said, yes. Can you come now? Yes. So I walked there. I found James Mwaura waiting for me at the gate of KBC. You know, my first time in Nairobi, he ushered me into KBC. I was seeing studios for the first time. I'm like, this is how they look. He's pointing and saying, that is Mambo Mbotela. He's on air. When it's red, it shows he's on air. When it's green, we can go in. It was amazing, a miracle. So he gave me a script because I told him I'm a student in Moi University. While I'm even in Moi University, I'm willing to do research for you or present for you as a volunteer. So he gave me a script and tested my voice. I read the script. Little did I know he was going to use that insert in his program that was airing the same day. So we proceeded to Mombasa for the trip. In the evening, I'm on air. My parents, everyone are hearing my voice. And actually, I had not told them I'm going to Mombasa for a trip. My parents are shocked. I'm like, no, but the voice looks like his. The name is his. My goodness. Anyway, it's a long story. That's how I went on air first. And then so when I went back to Moi University, I was recording material using the normal cassette. Those who can see this pen, you remember the cassette when you would wind it, rotate it, that's a normal cassette recorder. So I record myself, put in an envelope into a Kamba bus. It comes to Nairobi. James Mwaura inserts in the program. And I was a regular person on air all the way from Moi using rudimentary technology. That it's true.
Oh my God. Brethren, I say brethren, brethren. Audience, it's like we should not close this show. Are you hearing what I'm hearing? Somebody from the village came and called KBC, and you see, he said they crammed their number. We need to be proactive. We need to be courageous. You crammed the number, went and called and said, I want to be recording and to be a presenter. And you were told, come. And when you went back to school, other students will be there chewing chewing-gum and going up and down. You will take step something and record and give a camera. And the others will think that we are all students. Not knowing you, we are charting your way for the future. I think anybody that watches Keep It Real show, honestly speaking, you've got no reason to remain small in life. You cannot watch this program every Sunday and remain irrelevant and insignificant. It is not possible. Because all the stories we package here are stories of people you know, people you can look at, and they get you inspired. I am challenging you to please share this message across the globe, share it, and go back and listen again, watch it, and ask yourself, what story can I tell my generation? What story can I tell my children? You know, when we were growing up, those evening stories, the moonlight at the evening, our grandmothers will gather us and they used to tell us fairy tales and stories of warriors, of people of old. And some of those things shaped us, even when some of them were not real. But they use stories to inspire us. It may be story of tortoise and elephant, but you are imagining that it is true. It is true. Then they will tell you the story of Okonkwo. I went to war. You get courageous. You get courage. What about stories of real people, real issues, and real life? Stories we can actually verify. You cannot watch this program and remain insignificant. I think I need to close on this note. What is your parting shot in a second, Alex? Somebody in Nigeria, somebody is watching from Nigeria, Sunday Williams. He said he watched your program on your documentary on Mama Ashanti in Nigeria, and he was watching from Nigeria, and it was a great one, a good job. He said he's Sunday from Nigeria. What's your parting shot as we close the show?
My parting shot is don't pity. Pity, is it the right word? Yourself. Don't whine and don't give up. Don't think you are alone. Whatever you are going through, everyone goes through challenges. Don't think I live in Kibera, so and so lives in Runda, so they are better off. There's something God has given you, and God has given that other person something, and the challenges are proportional. You lack 100 shillings. You are really looking for 100 shillings. You are almost dying. You are not seeing it. Another one is looking for 100 million, and it's bad. So what I want to say is always be courageous in life and have a purpose in life. God will always put energy in that purpose. I never knew that I can fly all over the world. It's expensive. I mean, some people tell me they find difficult to go to their home countries in Kakamega, but before they turn their head, I'm in Canada. Before they turn their head, I'm in Australia. How is that possible? I mean, God can give you. God can take you places. And if you have a purpose, for example, you can't now say, I want to be like Chamwada, enjoy. You think he's just enjoying. So I get per diem, I build a house, I buy a Range Rover. Maybe then you're unlikely to fly and do that job that God gave me, because God knows it's for a reason, to give to the society, to empower the society, to churn out informative content. So it is for the society. It's not for me. It's not that I was looking for per diem to be rich. Maybe then God would not fly me to Canada and meet Rosalind. You see, it's the purpose. What's your purpose? It's not that I wanted to be rich. No. So God will give you, because God knows you are responsible and there is a reason why you want to do what you are doing. Then the best gift God can ever give you in life is good health. Good health. That's my parting shot.
Glory be to God. If we had time, I would have asked you how you manage to carry all your equipment, those sophisticated gadgets. How do you put them in the plane? Do you go with your crew or what? It's quite an expensive vision. But anyway, we keep it for part 2 so that we can bring you on board next time. And maybe next time you will bring me on board. So whichever way, yeah, whether I bring you or you bring me, Let's keep doing what God has tasked us to do, using stories to inspire our world. Thank you so much for being my guest tonight. The Lord bless you. The Lord enlarge your territory. The Lord increase you on every side. Extend your borders in Jesus' mighty name. And thanks to all our audience and viewers across the globe. Thank you for watching us tonight. God bless you and good night.
Amen. And bye-bye to you all.
Yeah, so Alex, you hold on for me.